Hello everyone and welcome back to another round of Division 2 East. Today we are in Ha Long Bay International Circuit in Vietnam, a track making its second appearance on the FRL calendar, so it's gonna be a thrilling race with drivers barely knowing the track and pushing to their limits trying to figure out the track. So we can surely expect Quattros to be the winner today, as is leading the standings. Um, the stand is leading the standings, um, as we can see displayed on the stream. Um, he's ahead of Karsten by 31 points, but Karsten the Killer is not gonna race anymore in FRL after some drama. We see Brody James sitting in P3, but following closely, just 32 points off, so it's pretty open battle. And then Devil Hunter Bangladesh in P4, a rookie, and the veteran Amogus Sassim Imposter in P5. We can also take a look at the Constructor Championship standings with Swift GP leading by 66 points, so that's a huge gap for them, winning every round but round 4, followed by Cotangents and Funny Group Racing. So, as we start with qualifying, we see that it's going to be a dry race, so the drivers will have to use the dry race tire rule, so they will have to use two different drag compounds in the race. We see a pretty low attendance today with just I think 13 drivers showing up, so it will be a nice chance for some drivers to make up some points in the standings. Um, we see, for example, Charles Leclerc Best having a chance to finally score points in this season. I believe he's not scored a single point this season yet. So it will be a big chance. And Zero Kraktov, the absolute dominator of D2 West yesterday's race. So we will see if he'll be able to win again today, or Quattros or anyone else will take a spot, will take the highest spot on the podium. So the drivers are right now on their up laps, trying to get the feeling with the track before going to push on their hot lap. We see a big train of cars right now trying to find space on the straight in sector 2. Approaching now the sector 3, a really technical and very fast flowing sector with especially the last section of corners, really easy to corner cut there or go wide. So you have to be really careful with the track limits in this truck. We are following Rody Sushi right now, a rookie who has done pretty good in this championship so far. So we're looking forward to see what he can do today. But we can also go with Quattros, the championship leader, who is waiting for the cars to go by to have clean air and push as much as he can. Um, he's starting his lap right now, so we can go on board with him and follow his lap. It takes turn 1 pretty cleanly, following the classic line. You have to take through there really close to the apexes, but not cutting them too much because it's easy to corner cut and lose a lot of time on them. So let's see who takes the fireball first sector. It's cracked up. Will Quattros take it? No, it will not. So cracked up seems to be on a great lap right now. Let's go on board with him. The TMP Motorsports driver, making his way through sector 2 right now. Really clean through there. He has a lot of, is in a good form for sure after winning by a monster of a gap yesterday in Division 2 West. So he's really one of the guys to beat today, and he's purple in sector 2 again. He's really pushing to the max. He goes a bit wide there, could have avoided that, but he's really, yeah, he's the best as of right now. Even Quattros cannot beat him in the sector 2, so now last section of corners for zero crack depth to set is banker lap. We know that having a good banker lap can surely take off some pressure from you and then let you push more on the other laps. But Consti gets oh, Barukta a 47.9. That's an amazing lap for Barukta. Can Krakta beat him? He does with a 47.4. That's a shockingly good lap, and I think that it does not belong to this division. But let's see what will happen in the following races. But wow, 5/10 gap from P1 and P2. That's really shocking, and I don't know how the others will handle this, because it's a really big gap, and I don't think anyone can even get close to that. So we'll see what they will try to do, but only 7 drivers set a lap so far, so we'll see if anyone who hasn't set a lap can still challenge zero crack depth, or it will be just a matter of time before he gets pole position. No one is on a lap right now, so we'll just wait for drivers to start their laps. Charles Leclerc best is last again, behind Brady James, who is struggling in this track since he never drove it, so it's surely gonna be a difficult race for him, and we'll have to limit the loss against Quattros today, because if he loses too many points, it might be over for the championship. Quattros has a big chance today, but with a crack that in this form and with this pace, it's really hard to think of winning the race unless Quattros makes a mistake. And we've seen that happen before in Division 2 East, for example. Ludwig, I believe, was Ludwig Division 2 East with a lot of mistakes from crack depth. So maybe if that's the case, Quattros can have the best of it. But the gaps are really big right now. We see only 3 drivers within 6/10, and then the P4 driver is 1.2 off the leader, so that's a really huge gap. But there's still 6 minutes to go, so everything can happen. As we see some drivers joining the game right now, so there's more competition to this race. We are on board with Quattros, the championship leader. You have to go really on the outside there to have the best entry in turn 1. Really good cornering from Quattros right there. He seems to be really clean in his lines, so really clean driver, really consistent. That's probably what put him in P1 in the championship right now. Maybe not the fastest driver ever on pure pace, but really consistent, and that's what makes a great driver, to be honest, in FRO. Oh, we corner cuts there, never mind. Let's see if anyone is on a lap. Zero crack depth is going to start his lap right now. As we see some drivers complaining about the bumps on this track, and to be honest, they are right, because there are a lot of bumps on the uphill sections that are yet to be fixed, so the drivers surely will struggle dealing with them. Crack depth corner cuts and aborts this lap time, I believe. Doesn't still abort, but it will be abort. So Devil Hunter is double green. He comes through the line and he improves, but doesn't improve his position, so nothing going on right now. Not much, at least. Every mixer crossing the line, improving as well, but very far off the lead positions. 2.2 off. This is one of the largest gaps I've ever seen in an FRL qualifying, so this is a factor of higher skill between those Division 2 drivers. For sure, some drivers have the capability to even race in D1, so they are very fast, but this is a bit of a drawback for the drivers that try to fight for the real Division 2 positions, but are can do it because of those drivers that are too fast for their division. But this is something that the officials will deal with, of course, in the break we're gonna have after how long. Um, we are on board with Krakow, but it's going to pit right now, so let's see if anyone is on a lap. Um, Nobody seems to be on a lap right now. Oh, Baruktar is on a lap. So just right now. It's really interesting to see how he's gonna do because he's never been this far up by the corner cuts. So is another victim of the Sector 1 corner cuts. Trust best as well. No one is on a lap right now, or at least no one is past Sector 1. So Crowder leaves the game. Will he have time to get one more lap in? I don't know, honestly. He's back already, yeah. It was a quick joiner. So Quatters is green in the first sector. Really clean through this section. Oh, it goes wide. No, that's big mistake for him. Still sitting in P6. That's not a good position to be in, especially when you're leading the championship and you want to gain more on your direct rivals. Of course, your rival is P10, but that doesn't mean you have to hope to like. Doesn't mean you can start P6. So Quattros will for sure not be happy with his position right now. Let's see if Consti is improving. He goes a little bit wide there. Might be a big time loss for him. So let's see. Wolf in sector 3 as well goes wide. So no good for him as well. A lot of drivers struggling with the track limits in this track. So we'll see how they'll handle them in the race. It's not going to be easy, but they will have to minimize the corner cuts as we've seen in the other divisions. Who has the best racecraft tends to finish higher in this track, especially with some strategic calls that we've seen in Division 1 and Division 2 West. Wolf goes up to P7, 1.1 off the leader. Devil Hunter is double green in Sector 1 and Sector 2. It sits in P5 right now. And let's see what he can do up to the line. Is going through the last section of this track with 30 seconds to go. Quattros quality is over and is P6 right now. Devil Hunter to the line, very clean through the last corners, and he improves, but it's not enough to gain any position. As we see, Amsa Legend having some issues and not able to join the game successfully, so he's not settled up, and I don't know if he's gonna race. So qualifying seems to be over with just some drivers sending the laps, but not much going on. There's no hope for no hope in beating Krakow, at least I believe. Barukta corner cuts. Oh, Wolf is under the track. Brody James is green. Glitzy Glow, I think, has gone up to P10. Brody James is double green, but he goes a little bit wide there. That's not good for him. Yep. But he can still hope in a P10, P9, I think. That's the best he can do with this lap. A little correction there. Oh, not ideal for him. He could have hoped and would have hoped in a cleaner section there. 1 Hour U Gamer Pro is also double green, but let's see how Brady James closes his lap. Really clean. And it goes up to P9 as predicted. As we see, Wolf, oh, he's gone. He's dead. And my wall game back. Okay. I'm back. Yeah. I'm. I have to rejoin. Uh, okay, so the drivers are lining up right now, and I'm afraid we couldn't get the qualifying results, and that's a big issue because I don't think anyone has screenshotted them. So yeah, the all we can have is the results from 1 second before qualifying ended. So I deny your existence as retired already from the race. It's 5 lights, and we are racing in Halong Bay, with drivers putting on the mediums and Trust look at best on the hards, and no one on the softs. So it's only 12 drivers racing, so that means 3 points for everyone. Barukdar, Kraktev, Konsti, Roti Sushi all in the lead pack right now. With Kraktev trying to pull away right now from Barukdar and the others, but it's not going to be easy, at least at the beginning of the race. But then later on, we probably see big gaps. Um, so we have to pay attention to Kraktev right now, trying to pull away. But what I'm surprised by is that only one driver chose to go on the hards for the start, as we've seen in the other divisions that the hards were the best choice for the start of the race. So I'm really shocked by this choice by all the drivers. But I guess they know what they're doing. I hope so for them. As I don't think they will see Charles Leclerc best as a treat, so not a big loss for them. But Krakdev already 7 tenths clear of Barukta, um, who tries to catch up back with the slipstream. Is really having his best race ever, I believe, in FRL. So he surely has to deal with the pressure. And if I'm not mistaken, this is home track, so another another factor that might give him more pressure. So really interesting to see how his race will turn out in the end. Constantly, that's the fastest lap, 51.1. Amso Legend, 51.0 flat. So we see the top three pulling away from the rest of the field with a surprising performance by 123 Hour Gamer Pro in P4. Um, we see Brody James in P7 climbing up those positions, um, but it's not going to be easy. Quattros is P11. I just noticed he's been complaining about his keyboard, and he's penultimate right now. Championship leader is penultimate on the in the race right now. Consistent is trying to keep up with the top two, but Zero Cracked seems to have more pace than everyone and is trying to pull away. And I think he will be able to do so unless he corner cuts. But you know, in FRL, the mistake is always behind the corner and you don't see it coming. So Consti and Barukta switch positions. Consti probably is the faster one out of the two because he has more experience in the top position. So having experience is one of the main points, one of the main strengths of an FRL driver. Consti definitely has more experience than anyone in this top pack. So we'll see if he'll make it a treasure and if he will use it to his advantage or it will not. So Consti 1 second behind Krukdev, who sets fastest lap 48.4 on medium tires. I don't have words anymore for this driver. Um, it seems like a fish out of water in Division 2 West. So in the East. So I don't really know what he's doing there. But Baruktar, as I say, that goes wide and loses a lot of ground to stop Chu, with Consti slightly gaining back on Krukdev, 6 tenths now. So I'll have to look out for Consti. Brody James dropping to P11 and Quatrus back to P8. So we'll see with laps going by how those positions will finally be like how they will be more when they will be more stable, or because around lap 6 we should see bigger gaps around the whole field, so we'll be sure of what position the driver is going to be in even after they stop. So we have no soft runners, so there will be no early stopping, but we see a lot of medium runners, 11 out of 12. So they will be pitting around lap 8, I believe, and the hard runner will be pitting around lap 13. So that's gonna be interesting to see where Charles Leclerc best is gonna end up being. But I don't think he has any chance to do higher than what he's doing unless anyone makes a big mistake ahead, which is possible but almost impossible. So Baruktar and Consti are starting to struggle a bit right now on the tires, with Krakow having more pace around this track, surely giving him a big advantage. But they are pulling away from the rest of the field, so it's pretty much a safe podium for them, I'd say. I don't see much risk of them losing the podium, so that's pretty good news for them. Um, I thought I saw Krakow making a mistake, but it was just an optical illusion, so nothing really changing right now. Pretty much a boring race. So let's take a look at the teammates fight for P6 and P5 between the Kotangans drivers, Hamza Legend and Devil Hunter Bangladesh. A completely Asian lineup, as they are both raised in the Asian division, so that's pretty fair, I'd say. But yeah, the drivers are really fast, and especially they are very consistent, and that's a big strength for them and for Kotangans, of course. But the Kotangans team boss will not be very happy. I'd say he's not very happy at the moment because he's running in P9. So yes, his team is doing well, but he's not doing well individually. So Devil Hunter goes very wide and loses the position to Hamza Legend, his teammate. Glitzy Glow is running a safe P4 right now. He's in no man's land. And Baduktar has dropped 1.5 off consistent, basically out of slipstream range. So that's not good news for him. If he wanted anything more, that's pretty much his fight over. But I don't think if I was him, I wouldn't complain about a P3 because I believe that would be his first podium position in FRL. I'm not sure about that, but I think so. Um, Brody James still in P11, P3 in the championship standings. P2 will be after this race, but yeah, really surprising to see him this low in the race, but it's close to Quattro, so that's not a bad news for him. Aero Mixer goes wide, and Brody James overtakes him round the outside. A clean overtake, experience driven, so he goes up into P10 and top 10 is now his. 123 Hour Gamer Pro in the Alpine inspired livery of Pavek Motorsports. His team is running P7, closely following Devil Hunter Bangladesh. Brody James must have made a big mistake because he's dropped 5 seconds behind Aero Mixer. That's a huge mistake. I think he hit the one corner cut that makes you lose all the time and all the speed and puts on a sort of pit limiter on you. So that's really unlucky for him. And we'll see if later on in the race we'll get to talk with him and see how race is going. But right now we see a lot of changing in positions. And there's a fight for P7, Quattros for Sushi, and Devil Hunter all battling for this P7. That's great points, honestly. Consti is trying to hold on, like he's trying to keep up with Kroktev, but it's not easy. He's out of slipstream range right now. Baruktan seems to have finally given up on the P2 P1 fight, but is well clear of Glitzy Glow. Hamza Legend is P5, pulling away from this group. Oh, and Quattros has made a double overtake, but is now being double overtaken again. So there's a lot of switching in positions with those drivers being will to will with each other for basically one lap at least right now. But I think they will go longer than this. Quattros now tries to pull away. Brady James trying to catch up back to P10. It's not impossible, but it's not going to be easy. Charles Leclerc best having a nice race in the meanwhile, just 36 seconds behind, chilling and not making any mistakes, as we can see. Consti has catched that back to Kroktev. Surprisingly, it's only 1 second right now, dividing both of them. So it will be interesting to see how things will go in those laps because they're gonna pit really soon. And if after the pit stop Consti is still in slipstream range, then it will be a great fight for them for the win and so for the 25 points, the biggest like points you can get in FRL. So everyone wants to get the big bucket of points, and that's what Consti and Kroktev surely want to get today. And they both have all the cards they need to win, so it will be a tight battle till the end. Barukta is being catched up back from Glitzy Glow, so that's not good news for him. He could lose his podium position if he makes any mistake. And if he hits the Brady James corner cut, then it will be his podium. Oh, never mind. Food makes the mistake. It's Glitzy Glow. Food loses. I'd say that's around a 3 seconds loss right there. So that's not good at all for him. Not 3 seconds, but it was 2 seconds. Still bad loss for him. Now back into the fighting group between Hamza Legend, 123 Our You Gamer Pro, and possibly Quattros. Consti closing in 5/10. Let's go on board with him. He's in striking distance, of course, and as long as you see the driver ahead, you always feel the hunger to overtake, and especially when you're fighting for P1. I can say this as a former Division 2 driver. When you're fighting for those positions, you only like see P1 ahead of you, and you always try to go for it. But that also makes you make mistakes, and if you make a mistake, you know your battle is over basically. So it's really important and tricky to keep your car on track while gaining time on the leader, and that's what Consti is trying to do. So he's doing a good job so far. He's in. He tries the undercut. That's one lap earlier than I would have done. So that it's going to be interesting. He's surely gonna be ahead of Crocked Up. Let's see his stop. It's a great stop. He puts on the hard tires, one stopper. Glitzy Glow is in. Misses a bit the stop. 123 Our Gaming Pro. They all pit. That's nice pit for them. And oh, Devil Hunter misses the box. Brady James is in as well. Oh, he's crashed in the pits. That's not good for him. Again. And he misses his pit box. Well, Charles Leclerc best is no longer last. That's a great moment to see, because he rarely gets this award. We could say, we could phrase it that way. But now his hard working and his hard time practicing is finally paying off. As his P11, at the moment it would score 2 points, and I'm sure he's really proud of his race so far. Look at those lines, amazing. Um, Crack depth goes a little bit wide. That's not a that's not good, but it will appear. I think this lap, unless he wants to go for an overcut, but I don't think that's the case. So let's see his pit stop. And as expected, it goes in. Uh, Really clean entry. Wow, to the limits. He even practiced the pit entry, I believe. And it's a really hard one. Ooh, a bit of mistake there, but it doesn't lose time. Baruktar is in. Let's see. Good stop. Good stop for Ramza Legend as well. Roddy Sush is in. Oh, it goes wide. Uh, Aero Mixer in. Nice stop. Okay, so Crackdev is now 4 tenths behind Consti, but with fresher tires. So it'll be pretty much race to the wire because 1 lap difference on the hards is not that much of a difference. And I think that the undercut was a great choice for Consti. So he's made it work, and now he's just doing what he has to do. Keep up with Crackdev. There will not be much tire advantage, so it's pretty much an equal race to the end. But Glitzy Glow is overtaken by Rukta, and they both have pit, so that's not a good thing for Barukta now. Not in a safe podium position anymore, and as I say that, he corner cuts and drops to P5, so I think that's his podium hopes practically cut in half. So it will be really tough for him to uh, get those podium back. 123 Hour Gamer Pro is truly the surprise of this race. Right now fighting for P3 with Glitzy Glow. But there's a long group forming. We can see from P3 to P7 they all can see each other and fight for the podium position. Um, as we've received the information that Brody James will be speaking to our microphones next lap, so we'll hear from him and how his race is going so far. Surely not the best race ever, but hearing it from him will give us more information about his real pace and what he can achieve in this race, more than this P11. So he will be talking to our microphones in just a few seconds. But right now, Crackdev and Consistent are fighting for P1, will to will. And I think that this will go down to the end. So down to to lap 21. But Consti makes a mistake that could cost him some time. It's now 8 tenths off. So he has to gain back the time he lost right now. We'll come back to this fight after Brody James team radio. He's gonna have it really soon. In Sector 2, I believe, is gonna give us some words about his race. So we're just gonna wait for him to speak. Constantly 9 tenths off, 1 second now. I think this could be Crackdev's chance to pull away and maybe get the win safely without fighting to the end. Yeah, Consti is really making a lot of mistakes right now. Let's see if Brody James is finally ready to speak. Oh, because why? I don't know if he's gonna speak this lap. Oh,
No,
oh, huge mistake for Brody James. He must have misclicked while
no.
activating the team radio, but now he's on our microphones and is ready to speak. How is your race going so far, Brody?
Well, obviously, looking at my race so far, I think it's pretty expected at the moment. So, yeah, I am obviously in a bad spot in terms of the championship, but I only have one goal in mind is to actually master the track within these last 10 laps.
Ah, I see. Do you think you can catch back to Aero Mixer in P10?
To be fair, in last lap, I was 4 seconds behind, so maybe when
Oh,
when I remember his gap between me and him when he exited the pit lane, it was around 8 seconds. So that's my main goal for this race. And hopefully Quattros can stay in P7 so that the gap is not in a worst case scenario.
alright. So we'll leave you to the race right now. Good luck with the remaining of the race. So have fun and push it to the limits. So as we come back to the fight for the lead, we see Consisting dropping 3 seconds behind Kroktev that now can pull away and set up a humiliating gap. But as I say that, Kroktev takes one of the worst corner cuts of the track and loses 3 seconds in one corner, giving life to the battle for the win again and giving us something to watch. The commentator curse strikes again, this time on Kroktev. But at least we got something to watch for those laps, so I don't mind. We everyone has played it so far, apart from Charles Leclerc best, but it's really good at tire managing and is one of the best in this matter. So uh, um, Consti now has to keep up with Crackdev and hope maybe in another mistake so that his job is easier because right now he doesn't have the tire advantage. He is behind and he seems to have less pace than Crackdev. So if I had to bet on who's gonna win, I would bet on Crackdev. But if Crackdev makes another mistake, then it would all change towards Consti. So Kosti is not proving me right though, because his six tenths now is losing approximately approx 1/10 per sector, so that's not good for him. He has to keep up with Cracked not lose time, but he doesn't seem to have the pace to do it. Yeah, 1 second now, even though he has to slipstream. So it's gonna be tough, but he can still take the win if he locks in. And since we have had the interview with Barry James has gained around 2 seconds on Aero Mixer, so maybe he was lying to us when he told us that it was not his main goal. But yeah, he seems to have started pushing again. He took the sandbags off. Um, let's go back to the fight for the podium position. Last spot with 123 Hour Gamer Pro and I'm the Legend fighting for this position, waving on the straights, trying not to give the slipstream to each other, but uh, Quattros is closing in as well. It's not too far, you can see them. It's P5 now, that's not good for Brody James. And Baruch that has dropped to P6, not good for him as well. But whoa, look at those witchbacks and Hamza Legend makes a mistake. And in corner cuts and loses all the time he had gained. So 123 Hour Gamer Pro seems to have the last podium position as of now. Consti has closed back in on Crackdev, but as I go and click on his name to spectate him, he's dropped back to 1.5. So yeah, it's not good. Charles is in. Oh, he misses a pit box by a mile. This will surely make his race harder because as of now, he was having probably his best race in FRL in a while. But Yeah, sad to see him lose all this time in the track where he made history. Because as you all remember, in this track 1 year ago approximately, he set the fastest lap in Sector 1, and probably he will go for it again, unless uh, he's too scared of being moved to D1. Um, Consti is now 2.3 behind, zero crack depth, so it looks like it's not going to be uh, as I'm back, as I was saying, Consti is 2.3 behind, zero crack depth, so it looks like it's pretty much over for the win, unless crack depth makes the same mistake again. So he'll have to for sure avoid corner cutting, but he should be safe. But again, in corner cut, as soon as I say that, and loses 5 tenths, so he's not safe at all. He should stop pushing this hard. Um, The 5 for P3 has settled down, but not for P4 with Amsa Legend and Quattro switching positions. And Amsa Legend um, now being overtaken by Quattros, trying to fight back, but it's not going to be easy against the championship leader who has all the motivation to gain P4 and increase the gap on his rivals in the championship that, as we've seen before, are Brody James and Devil Hunter Bangladesh. So they go wheel to wheel around sector 1. Quattros is now true, at least that's what the standings say, but in those last 6 laps, Quattros will surely try to get this position, even for his team, Swift GP, because it's only one, no, it's I believe one driver racing since Wolf didn't take part in the race. So pretty unlucky for Swift GP. Um, as we see Consti telling Hamza to stay in front of Quattros, probably for his slim championship hopes. But still, as long as you can hope, you have a future. So that's what Consti is trying to say. Um, Quattros, as soon as I say that, makes a huge mistake, loses 3 seconds, and is now back to P6. As we've seen, the faith of consisting has worked in his favor. But Hamza Legend is lagging a lot on the straights. Look at this. Wow. And we see also a battle for P7, but it's kind of settling down, so there's not much to see. Battle for P9. Brody James far off. Hamza Legend. Oh, he's stuck on the track. Oh no. Let's take a look. Will he come back? He's flying. What is going on? Where is he? What? He's back. He's back. And he's stuck again. And he's under the track. What is going on? I have no clue. Looks like nothing happened to him. So he's still back. He's still in the race. He's still in the fight for P3. Just a little heart attack for him. Uh, as we see Glitzy Glow closing in on Quattros, who seems to have made another mistake. Nullifying all his good pace shown in the last few laps. Brody James can still see Ever Mixer ahead of him slightly, so that's not too bad. He still has hope, but look at those lines. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to catch up back. Consti is still 2.8 off. Looks like the rate at battle for the win has settled down. So, Crack Dev P1, Consti P2, pretty safe. Then 1, 2, 3 Away Gamer Pro and Hamza Legend fighting for P3. Baruktar in No Man's Land, P5. Quattros not too far from Baruktar and not too far from Glitzy Glow. Glitzy Glow corner cuts and gets overtaken by Devil Hunter Bangladesh, and then 20 seconds behind them, Roddy Sushi in P9, Aero Mixer in P10, and Roddy James in P11. And last but not least, Charles Leclerc Best in P12, close to being lapped. So, Hamza is still lagging all over the track. But if I'm not mistaken, he's made a mistake. Uh, like, he's never mind. It's back. It's just all back. The whole game is back when you talk about Hamza. We went from being P6 to being P3 in one corner, and now it's back to P5. And I don't know what's going on. Um, something. If he manage to finish the race, then it will be a miracle because it's really hard to race in those conditions, and it's really praying while racing. Look at this. It's been frozen for like 1 minute, like frozen and moving at the same time. 1 FPS racing. What is this? I've never seen something like this. Uh, this is the worst Wi-Fi I've ever seen in FRL ever. Worse than play games or anyone else, MJ. Nah, this is the worst Wi-Fi. But let's take a look. Constay is now definitely out of the win battle. We cracked up safe in P1, almost 5.5 seconds. Hamza Legend stuck on the track, but back again and stuck on the track again and back. And then Barukta hoping in a Hamza Legend disconnection at this point. Quattros as well. Devil Hunter, Glitzy Glow, Birdie Sushi, Aero Mixer, Birdie James, and Charles Clippers. Oh, Hamza. Never mind. It's getting worse. Oh, it's stuck. It's stuck. It's not stuck. It's stuck. What's going on? He's not there. He's not there. Where is Hamza? Where is Hamza? Oh, he's stuck. Oh, he's not. This is pretty much the only interesting thing we got to see right now. But Brody James has clutched that back to Aero Mixer, at least is closed in and is now in striking distance. So we got something to watch. We got something to watch. Maybe we can re-interview Brody James at the end of the race. So we'll hear from him a little bit more. Hamza stuck. Hamza stuck. Oh, it's not. Hamza stuck. Oh no, this could be bad. It's not moving anymore. Oh, it's gone? Oh, I thought it was gone, but it's not. Oh, it's stuck again. Um, I don't know how he's racing in those conditions. It's like a qualifying race for him. And I don't think he even gets the slipstream in those with this Wi-Fi because you only get the slipstream when like you are 1.5 behind on your screen, I believe. That's what the same issue Play Games had in season 6. But it seems to be P3, so uh, I don't know what position he's in, P3 or P4, but we'll see in the end. But one issue is that if he freezes before the finish line, and then even though he cut it, it will be counted behind his real position. So it's sort of an issue for him. Oh, he's stuck again. Where is he? Where is he? Uh, this time it could be it. It could be his phrase over. I don't know. Oh, it's moving. Oh, oh, it's back. And it's not back. It's stuck again. What is this? Anyways, Brady James overtakes Evo Mixer for P10. And Charles Leclerc Best is gonna be lapped. Or not. Let's see if he's gonna get lapped. I have no clue because it's the last lap right now. White flag for Zero Crack Dev. White flag and 5 seconds and a half ahead of Consisting in P2. And then 20 seconds ahead of P3. 123 hour you gaming pro, but I'm so stuck again. Oh no. Oh, it's back. Uh, I don't know how to commentate this because I don't know what position he's in, but he's completely stuck. Yeah, that's what I think as well, teacher. As I think that Amza is really putting his race in danger with this connection. Crack Dev now almost approaching the end of Sector 2, lapping Charles Leclerc best, but he will fight back not to be lapped. Let's see what happens. Charles Leclerc best against Zero Crack Dev. This is what we've been waiting for the whole race. Charles Leclerc best. Ahead of Crack Dev. I think it's blue flags, but they don't count in this situation. And I'd say I don't know what they're not showing, but Charles Leclerc best seems to have position right now. Oh, it goes wide. No, no, no. Charles Leclerc best goes wide. Consti in P2 after Kragdev wins the race. P2 for Consti, and let's see Hamza. This is the crucial moment we've all been waiting for. Hamza crosses the line and is scored in P3. He's done it. He's done it. Quadras P5 and 123 hour Gamer Pro P4, Quadras P5, Baruktak P6, Devil Hunter Bangladesh closing in P7, um, Glitzy Glow in P8, Rotisishu P9, Brady James P10, and Aero Mixer hitting the worst corner cut on the track, like impossible to corner cut there, but corner cut there. And Brady James P10, Aero Mixer P11, Charles Leclerc best P12. So this is it for uh, from Vietnam today. Did you East? But I think that before closing the stream, we should interview again Brady James and hear from him some more about his race. So if he's there, he could speak right now.
Well,
Hello.
I got it anyways. I
Yeah,
got it.
tell us something about your race pace and your feeling with this track.
Okay, so this is clearly my first impression of the track, and it just goes to show that you have to pay the price whether you are paying an effort on something or not, and it applies to real life situations as well. But yeah, about the track, I actually quite enjoyed it, despite the fact that it had to, humiliate me to a big extent.
Yeah, I see what your impressions are, and I completely find myself on the same page. So I think that with this we can close the Division 2 East stream and say goodbye to Brody James. So
Yes.
see you in Buenos Aires in a few weeks, and we'll be back soon. Goodbye, FRL.